everyone. It's Justin Kennington coming to you with SDVoE. Today I'm joined by Paul Vander Plaetse, the CEO of VuWall. Paul, welcome. Thanks for joining.
Thanks for the invitation.
Sure. So what I know about VuWall is you've got a history of controlling video walls.
Yes.
Is that fair to say? So with that in mind, what brought you to SDVoE and how do you use the technology?
Okay. So video walls don't escape the law of the AV over IP integration. So whereas our sources were baseband sources coming to our video wall or to matrix switches into our video wall controllers, now everything is coming through AV over IP.
Okay.
And SDVoE was actually the perfect partner, and we've been an adopter of SDVoE since the beginning. Mm-hmm. Because of the uncompromised quality of the signal. In control room, it's very important. 4K signal with an uncompromised quality, transported and switched through a standard network switch, which simplifies a lot our setup in control rooms where there's multiple high-resolution sources.
Okay.
So it's a great technology. So the quality, the technology itself of SDVoE. But the second thing that drew our attention was the interoperability. So knowing that we wouldn't be the only one to have SDVoE encoders and decoders. There's other manufacturers that use the technology for in other configurations. For example, Christie with projectors, or other companies doing wall plates and so on. We had a great example the other day. We had a project with a customer. So he wanted our software, he had a video wall, and he wanted to use our boxes, but he also needed wall plates. So I just told him right away, go to any SDVoE member that has those wall plates. It's not a product we offer. And I know it's gonna work. We don't even have to test it. So we test all the time, but SDVoE, we know it just works. So it's very stable interoperability. That's great.
That's wonderful. I always give that wall plate story as my theoretical example of, maybe your favorite manufacturer doesn't have wall plates and you can go buy one somewhere else. I'm so glad to hear a concrete, this really happened example, because I'm just making stuff up. Yeah, I don't live in the real world like you.
One of our last projects was, it's interesting. So we really promote interoperability because AV over IP without interoperability is just AV over IP technology in AV deployments, but an AV over IP deployment has much more potential than just one AV deployment.
The proprietary approach strikes me as a very sort of historically AV way to go about things, but in a world that's more and more controlled by IT. And that's a set of buyers and users who I wouldn't even say they demand interoperability, they assume interoperability.
Yeah.
You know, nobody says, oh, hey, can my Dell laptop plug into my Cisco switch? They don't ask that question, they just plug it in because of course you can.
Yeah, and why couldn't I use a broader printer with my Dell laptop?
So to try to sell to that audience with a story that says, well, of course, your Crestron only works with your Crestron, it almost strikes me as insane.
Yeah. And there's still a lot of education. People don't realize how far we can go with that.
Yeah, that's what I've noticed when we talk to AV people about our interoperability. They're frankly surprised to see that it actually really works.
Yeah.
They go, oh wow, I thought you guys just talk about this stuff.
Yeah, it's not just the signal. It's the signal and the control.
Yeah. And so let's talk about that control, right? Because a big way that SDVoE interoperability works is because there's a standard API that manages and controls all of the devices regardless of the manufacturer.
Yeah.
So then when VuWall wants to write control software and make this into a video wall product, now you can take advantage of that API. So talk to me about your software and how it works with the underlying hardware.
So our software is designed to manage multiple video walls, multiple displays across an AV over IP network. And we know that interoperability will be growing. So the way we added SDVoE is we have our core software, and alongside the core software we have a layer that allows us to adopt third-party control technology or signal technology to assume the compatibility. So these layer, it's like an interface layer where drivers can be designed by manufacturers or third party without affecting our core software. So it's really independent.
Yeah.
So that ensures future interoperability for technology that still has to come, right?
Okay. So you built your software in a way that, and I forgive you, that it might be SDVoE underneath, or it could be other transport management technologies.
Yeah.
Whatever suits that customer's need, your
Exactly.
software is ready to abstract that away.
You know, in control rooms, they need high quality 4K 60 signals on the video wall, but they also have cameras.
Yep.
And you know, cameras, low resolution,
Sure.
H.264. So they want that camera streamed right away on the video wall.
I see. So in fact, I misunderstood before. Really, what you're talking about is not. It's not that your software can do SDVoE or can do 264 or can do NDI. It's that it can do all of. It can put those together.
That's it. Yeah.
Oh,
That's
okay.
it.
Okay. Very powerful. That's very interesting.
So and that layer allows to identify the user. Okay, if I drag an SDVoE source to an SDVoE compatible destination, TRX will tell the user.
Yeah.
So he won't be able to drag a camera on that.
Sure.
But then again, we could encode a camera also on SDVoE and make that camera compatible with SDVoE destination because we support both.
Right. Right. That's very powerful. I'm imagining, you talk about video quality in this environment. I'm guessing that's for two reasons. Number one, oftentimes these walls become very large.
Yeah.
And of course, artifacts and image distortions
Yeah.
get blown up and look very ugly.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking also in a lot of these control room environments, this is critical data that's under analysis and needs to be presented in a perfect way.
It's people want lossless information. So when they have a large network of let's say a utility distribution system, they have lines and sensors, and a few pixels that turn red or green is a major different signal.
Yeah.
And users don't want to miss that.
Sure.
So that's where they really want to make sure that there's uncompressed signals for that. And,
that makes sense.
SDVoE is really, really good for that.
I don't want to put you on the spot, but I'm curious, do you have any recent sort of marquee installations of TRX that you'd like to tell about? Any big wins or interesting installs?
Control rooms generally are mission critical. We can't talk too much about them.
Well, that's why I knew you might not be able to, and that's perfectly fair.
But we've done some installation in
Excellent.
different countries. So we operate internationally. We have partners worldwide that do installations. But yeah.
I'm picturing. Did you ever watch 24, the old Jack Bauer show?
No, I don't. I don't know that. Sorry.
That's okay. It's the spies and counter terrorists, and they had this beautiful, all pretend Hollywood control room.
Yes.
Everybody's got a screen, and there's the big screen, and send it to my screen and enhance, and all those wonderful things. You should watch it because I've always said that's what we should be aiming for. If we as an industry can make that real, then we've really accomplished something. And you're honestly, here we are 15 years later. I imagine you're getting pretty close to that.
Yeah, that's actually at our booth. We have,
okay, there you go. Check it
where
out.
you can send an operator desktop to this video wall or to this video wall.
Okay. This is it. You got to go watch the show then, and you'll say, "Hey, I built that."
Okay, I'll have a look at that.
Well, thank you, Paul. Thanks for joining us. It's been nice to chat, nice to catch up.
Yeah.
I hope you enjoy the rest of your show, and thank you all for watching.
Thank you.